Evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Yeah.
Commissioner.
Everybody.
Chair Vishal.
Yes.
Okay. Good
Commissioner-
evening,
Good evening, everyone.
everyone. Thank you for joining our Community Advisory Commission on this regular meeting on Wednesday, September the 1st, 2021. This meeting is held via teleconference Zoom only, no physical presence. You can watch the meeting on the links below. Oral public comments may be provided live during the Community Advisory Commission meeting by first registering for the Zoom meeting in advance. And the link was provided already. So being already past 7 o'clock, we are going to start the meeting with a call to order. I'm going to ask Mr. Robert to please guide us with the call to order.
Excuse me, Chair. We'll be on the call to order. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance first. Okay, I pledge allegiance. All together, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
The
of
flag of the
America,
United States
to
of
the
America,
republic for
and
which
the
it stands,
republic for which stands one nation,
one
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and
with
justice for all.
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Robert, if you can help us with the call to order, please. With, excuse me, with the roll call.
We'll do you one better. I'll do the roll call.
Yes.
Okay. Chair Leon,
Present.
Commissioner Trong,
She's excused. She had emailed.
Commissioner Batillo,
Thelma here.
Commissioner Peralta,
Present.
Commissioner Rosario,
Present.
Vice Chair Gandhi,
Present.
Commissioner Zhang,
Present.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Present.
and Commissioner Sridhar. Okay, that is the roll call.
Thank you. Forgive me, Robert, I lost track of the current commissioners. I know that we have one new appointee as commissioner, another one as an alternate.
Yes.
Forgiveness, I don't know exactly which one is the one who has been appointed first as a commissioner.
Not a problem. Let me just give you that information. So Commissioner Peralta will be a full-time Community Advisory Commissioner,
Okay.
and Commissioner Rodriguez will be an alternate. And in this particular case, because we moved on to the seating of alternates, we do have a space to seat an alternate should you choose to do so.
Okay, and Commissioner Song is a permanent or is an alternate?
Commissioner Zhang is permanent.
Okay, so in this case, we will appoint Commissioner Rodriguez to join us as a voting member on tonight's meeting.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vice Chair.
You're welcome. Let's move forward with the approval of the agenda for tonight, September 1st. Who would like to?
So this is Commissioner Gandhi. I'll make a motion to pass the approval of agenda for today, which is September 1st, 2021.
Thank you.
I second the motion.
Thank you.
Chair, would you like me to do the roll call again?
Yes, because I'm
Not a
taking
problem.
notes here.
Chair Leon,
Yeah, okay, yes, okay.
uh, Commissioner Batilo,
Yes.
Commissioner Peralta,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosario was the second, excuse me, and Commissioner Gandhi was the motion, Commissioner Zhang,
Yes.
and Commissioner Rodriguez.
Present.
Okay, so the motion passed unanimous. So we approve already the agenda for tonight. Now we're going to do the approval of the meeting minutes from August 4th, 2021. Who would like to?
If there are no comments, I would like to move that this minutes of the meeting August 4 be approved.
Okay, do we have somebody a commissioner who wants to second this motion?
I second.
My
Please
apologies.
say your name.
It's like Commissioner Peralta has her hand raised.
I second.
Okay. Then we can proceed for
So
the voting.
Commissioner, Chair Leon, how do you vote?
Yes, I understand. I think Commissioner Peralta was not present on the meeting on August the 4th. I will.
Thank you, Chair. She was present.
Oh, she was present. Okay, my apologies.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want to proceed with the vote, please?
Yes, Chair Leon,
Yes.
Commissioner Batilo,
Yes.
and Commissioner Vice Chair Gandhi,
Yes.
Commissioner Zhang,
Yes.
and Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
we just approve unanimously the meeting minutes from August 4th. Let's move forward in our agenda to item number 7. Public forum. Do we have any public attending the meeting tonight?
There are no attendees and there's no public forum at this time.
Okay. Announcements, number 8.
There are no announcements at this time.
Oh, we're moving fast today. I like it. Business number 9, business items. Community Advisory Commission work plan. I believe we all received the work plan for this current year, 2021-2022. Thank you, Robert, for putting it out. We would like to open for discussions if we have any modifications to this plan.
Chair,
Chair,
if I may, I just want to run the Community Advisory Commission through the work plan just briefly.
Okay.
And then we can open it up for discussion if that's
Thank you,
okay.
because there are 2 new commissioners, so it will be a good idea. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so this is our Community Advisory draft work plan for the year. It does mirror what we have done historically with a few wrinkles that I'm going to walk through today. But in a normal year, this is what the Community Advisory Commission is expected to accomplish over the course of the fiscal year, creating community events, having a special amount of time in the community that really binds you as commissioners to doing work in the community. So the 5 topic areas are usually CDBG, spring cleaning, National Night Out, neighborhood beautification, and the last one, which we've modified over the years, community engagement and affordable housing and building safety month. Okay, so those are the 5 topic areas. I'm going to walk through them very briefly just to kind of give the new commissioners a little overview. This particular year is special for CDBG. We have concluded our consolidated, or at the end of this this fiscal year, we will have concluded our 5-year consolidated plan, and now it's time to create a new 5-year consolidated plan. So as you know, as commissioners in CDBG, every year you vote and you give guidance to the city council as to how you feel the yearly funding should be allocated to the community. Well, the consolidated plan is a requirement by HUD that outlines the next 5 years of funding, and essentially says, how are we going to spend the next 5 years of funding? What are our goals? What are our needs? How do we propose that we're going to accomplish them? I won't go into too much detail because we'll be coming to you several times over the next few months to really give you a deep dive on that. But as the caretakers of CDBG, you will be responsible and in guiding us and the community to provide feedback and to the city council as well as to how we craft that plan over the next 5 years. So as you know, in the normal CDBG year, we come to you, we have the applicants give presentations, you give your feedback to the community, you hear feedback from the community and you give feedback to the city council. That will be the same as always, just obviously wrapped with the consolidated plan, including in that. So that'll begin as soon as next month, because the consolidated plan will require a lot of staff time, as it is a substantial report and requirement. So we'll be getting going on that fairly early this year. Usually our CDBG year kind of starts in December, but this year it's going to start a little earlier. Spring cleaning is an event we usually hold around May. We usually pick a particular neighborhood, and the CAC gets together and attempts to clean a specific part of Milpitas. We haven't had that event in the last few years for obvious reasons, given the pandemic. So we're hopeful that that is something that we will be able to accomplish with you all this year. But for the last few years, it has not been something that we could accomplish. National Night Out. Obviously, we just had National Night Out in August, but that is a part of your work plan. And in a normal year, the CAC would put on an event, or CAC members would host National Night Out events within their respective areas in their communities. Neighborhood beautification, another one of those that we've had to table for the last few years, just given the pandemic. We're hopeful that next year we might be able to accomplish something related to neighborhood beautification. It's still on your work plan because we want to respect that it is something that the CAC has done for a long time, and we certainly don't want to remove it at this time. But given our new reality, it is something that is under consideration. But we hope to be able to get back to neighborhood beautification in the upcoming year. And then finally, community engagement in affordable housing and building safety month. Last year, we put on 2 events for well, first of all, the city of Milpitas celebrates affordable housing and building safety month in the month of May. The region at large celebrates affordable housing month, but we actually include building safety in that as well. And we wanted to include you all in that process. And so we added the community engagement aspect to it. So on your behalf and on the city's behalf, we held 2 community events in the month of May. And that really allows us as a housing team to kind of show you and the community all of the good things that we're working on behalf of the city to help the residents, as well as it gives our building staff an opportunity to share their expertise with the community at large in terms of best housing safety practices. Things that they don't really get a lot of opportunities to discuss publicly, but it's really great to hear them share their knowledge with the community at large. So that's sort of a brief overview of the work plan. And with that, I'm happy to turn it over to the chair for any questions and the group for discussion.
Thank you, Robert. As you heard, this is kind of the plan that we have been following the last few years, with the fact that due to COVID-19, there are several ones that either we need to discuss if we are going to at least put in our work plan and look if indeed they can be presented and put it together. Any, let's open the forum for any comment from the commissioners, please, regarding the plan.
Hi, this is Commissioner Thelma Batillo. I wanted to first see who are the commissioners in the subcommittees so that we can see and we can hear from them about this project.
Good.
Yeah, it's a great question. So can you guys hear me okay? My computer just kind of went spacey for a second. Am I coming in okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great question, Commissioner. So as a team, we did discuss the idea of subcommittees, and so we've actually decided against the idea of subcommittees for a variety of reasons. Namely, that the work plan is the entire commission's work plan, and we felt it would be best, especially with some new commissioners this year, to allow the entire commission to discuss all of the items on the work plan and have input on all of the events. We really value the input, and we think that, given that we have some new members, it would be important and really most efficient to discuss them here at commission meetings. We believe that the commissioners can obtain ideas and input from the council liaison directly at commission meetings. We feel like that's very important as well. And having the subcommittees might hinder that ability. And namely the discussions of the commission work plan items need to allow for opportunities for public input. They should be discussed at the commission meetings. If they are discussed at subcommittee meetings, the meetings need to be noticed, posted, and be open to the public, just like these commission meetings. And that might be challenging given the amount of work plan items and the amount of subcommittees. So for those reasons, we felt it would be best to have the entire commission discuss and vote on every work plan item.
Thank you, Robert. I think they are very valid points.
Okay, so the next item would be where is the schedule of the different activities? Because if we are going to discuss this every time we have a meeting, then I remember at one point we did a project kind of team meeting as a whole. We need now to, for example, we don't need to really pay attention as much as far as we've finished National Night Out, and that's in August. And if we have the calendar in front of us, that is always the second Tuesday of August, and that's that. When we don't have to discuss that as a team tonight. So the next item would have been, you could just present to us, Robert, about the housing and when do you plan those things, and then the the CDBG might be the topic to discuss, but just to give us a heads up on what are the events, when do they happen, and what are the 2 months prior to that we need to do as a committee, as a commission, to discuss it.
Commissioner Batilo, as I can see on the chart, it states when is the beginning discussion and the deadline for the activity. So, for example, for item number 1, CDBG, is my understanding that the beginning of discussion, especially for the consolidated plan, will need to start next month, and hopefully it will be part of the agenda so we can start discussing that. So I think this chart is telling us when to begin the discussion because there is a deadline for the activity.
Right. So perfectly. Sorry, earlier I couldn't see the right side. So the deadline means that is the date when it happens, right?
Generally, yes. That is
Yes.
We need to understand also that yes, is the deadline for the month for when it's happening. In some cases, it might be before our CAC meeting, for example. In some cases, the National Night Out not necessarily is right after our meeting in August. So we have to be wise to understand that we need to plan ahead and be sure that whenever we meet, we're going to have enough time for the event to be ready.
Right. So go ahead.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Rosario.
This is Jose, yeah. May I suggest, Mr. Chair, that we will come out the updated list of each commission because we have new members. So we should get an updated list of those like National Night Outs, spring cleaning, all the 5 activities that we are going to come out later on. So we're to make sure that we know that our names are on the list. Like spring cleaning, I know that I'm a member of that, and also neighborhood. So since we have a new member, so
Commissioner,
we need a new list. Okay.
Commissioner Rosario, yes, but it was explained by previous to you your comment about the fact that now at this point we're not going to go with the
subcommittee. Yeah.
Subcommittee. We are all going to be part on this plan, so the new commissioners can get involved and understand all the process.
That's correct.
So at this point, we will get the new roster that Robert is going to provide to us, but it's not. This plan has nothing, doesn't interfere with who are the commissioners, because all of us were going to be part of these activities. The discussion at this point is if there's any changes on these activities, is this work plan something that we would like to continue having, or there are any suggestions regarding that?
Okay, all right, I understand.
So I'm want to bring open the discussion regarding if there's any consideration that we need to take care for all these 5 items, or there's any suggestion regarding which are the tasks and if we're okay within these tasks.
Chair, I'd let you know that Vice Chair Gandhi has his hand raised.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Vice Chair Vishal.
Sure, Commissioner, thanks, Commissioner Leon and Robert. Yeah. So what I was just gonna suggest is, based on all the discussion we had today, can we add a column like between the begin discussion and a deadline, something like milestones? And can we put out the activity wise that what we need to achieve to have this event planned in March, be like from the time we start between October and March. So what needs to take place from a milestones perspective between October and March. So that would help the new commissioners as well as everyone else to see that, okay, these are the activities or these are the discussions that needs to take place between like when we start discussing and when the event will take place.
And great suggestion, Vice Chair. I believe the work plan itself is it may be a template for the city clerk's office.
Are you guys able to hear me?
What I would just say is at the beginning of the discussion time, we can definitely delineate those tasks, roles, and responsibilities, and then just send everybody an email after the meeting delineating what those tasks, roles, and responsibilities are. I don't think all of those action items at this time before we would submit the work plan.
So as a whole, this sheet of paper is really good. I know we talked about no more subcommittees, but at the bottom, which is the neighborhood beautification, it says the mention of the subcommittee. I think that should be revised to just say that as the need for that during that time, we will assign 4 people to go around to visit the different entries, but just kind of read each one, which one we can revise. And then as the mention about milestones, I think this one is good as is, but as you said, Robert, this is like a template or sheet for everybody to see as a whole what we do. But as far as per project, for example, in our next meeting, we could actually do a project plan document, for example, for the CDBG, because then we'll have to say when do we have a training, especially for the new people, plus also for us, all these that can need a review. You know, what are the things that need to be in the program planning?
Okay. I think a good point, Commissioner Batilo, regarding item number 4 on the topic area 4, that the word subcommittee needs to be removed.
Yes.
And just put as committee. That's one thing. The other thing is, like, I think I like the timeline between beginning discussion and deadline. They are probably very accurate, and that will give us enough time. The only one is the spring cleaning day. That says March, and then activity on May. For the issue here is the March meeting usually is devoted for the CDBG. And sometimes we get that in the conflict, and we are always at a rush for this activity. My suggestion here would be to move the beginning discussion for the spring cleaning day to
February.
February.
Yes, I agree. Do we need to
I
vote
think
on
that's
it?
that's a good question, suggestion. Yeah.
So I think I like that suggestion, but knowing that the things required with the spring cleaning day, with all the planning and support, including getting the resources, especially the what you call the dumpsters and everything. What I was suggesting is probably we can move up, like we can start the discussion in February and maybe move the event. Yeah, sorry. So that we have a month of April to discuss, right? Okay, sure. No,
Yes.
yes, right, got it. Yeah, we can have a discussion start in February, so that
Because
we can
March
get
is
an
CDBG.
update. Right, so we can get an update on the dumpsters and other logistics in the meeting of the April. Yes, I agree. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, February is good. Yeah.
Do we need to make a motion for this change? Who wants to make a motion to change the beginning discussion for item number 2 to the month of February?
Okay, if we need to motion, I motion that we change that the spring cleaning activity begin discussion in February instead of March.
Okay.
Okay.
Commissioners want to second that?
I'll
I
second
second.
it.
Thank you, Commissioner Rodriguez.
You're welcome.
Roll call.
Yes.
Commissioner, Chair Leon.
Yes.
Looks like Commissioner, she voted. Commissioner Peralta,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosario,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gandhi, Vice Chair Gandhi,
Sorry, I thought I was unmuted. Sorry. Yes.
Commissioner Zhang.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. It was approved. do we need to change the point number 4 of item 4 regarding taking the word subcommittee and make it committee? Or
And forgive me, I was going to say that that vote should have been to approve the work plan and the changes that the commission just made.
okay.
So if you'd like, we can redo the motion just to solidify that, and that way that item would be essentially over. So if there's no more discussion, then we can just do the one vote for all of that.
Okay.
For all the changes, okay?
Excuse me.
So again, Commissioner Batillo, you want to make
Yes.
the motion?
So I want to make a motion to amend the work plan for both that removal of the word subcommittee on the item 4 and the date for the spring cleaning from March to become February as a beginning discussion.
Thank you. And Commissioner Rodriguez, I think you or any other commissioner wants to second this motion?
I second the motion.
Thank you. So we go back to the roll call.
Vice Chair Leon,
Yes.
but Commissioner Peralta.
Yes.
Excuse me, Chair Leon, I apologize. Thank you, Commissioner Peralta. Commissioner Rosario,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gandhi,
Yes.
Commissioner Zhang.
Yes.
Yeah, the ayes have it.
Okay. Then it was approved, and we have the work plan with those changes as we mentioned it. So let's go.
I think Commissioner, Chair Leon, I think Commissioner Peralta has a hand raised.
Yes.
Oh, that was earlier. I apologize for that.
Okay, sure.
I was gonna make the second motion, but Commissioner Rodriguez earlier. Sorry.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is number 10, CT liaison reports.
Let me pull something up on behalf of the council member. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, I'm going to start while Robert is setting it up. So anyway, nice to see all of you again after a month's absence. So Chair Eileen, Commissioner Eileen, Commissioner Monica, Commissioner Jinky, Commissioner Thelma, Commissioner Jose, Vice Chair Bisal, and of course, Chair Leong. So this flyer is from, I got this last Saturday. And this is the neighborhood cleanup day where the residents signed up and they can bring their big trash over at last Saturday was Cardozo Park. So for anybody interested, please disseminate this information to your sphere of influence. They can email this Milpitas recycles@ci.milpitasca.gov and with the name and last name and email address and phone number. They will be notified when the next dumpster day will be. And I also want to encourage the commission because we have several services related to trash. And then we also give vouchers. So they can request a voucher. What does a voucher do? They can bring their big ticket items to Santa Clara, City of Santa Clara site where it's free. They just bring and hold the trash to this site. You have to use the voucher by December 31st, 2021. We also reaching out to all the commissioners to to educate the residents, the people that you know, that we do have, available to all the residents 4 times a year, big bags where you can put bigger items, and then it stays in your house for a week, and then they pick it up. Also, there's an option, instead of using the big bags, you can put at the curbside like a refrigerator, one big item, a refrigerator, a washer, or a dryer, anything big, you put it out at your curbside when they pick it up. So I encourage all the commissioners to please disseminate that information to the residents. So that would be helpful. We want to use them because it's available. And the way I see it is not being used a lot. Also, moving along, we have September 18 is the National Cleanup Day. So if you want to spend an hour or two, please sign up. And Robert, please let them know how to sign up. I think you go through the volunteer, what is the sign up site? Robert will give you guys the details if you need it. Also, one exciting thing is that they launched the Leadership Academy where attendees will learn everything about how to run the city, from housing, planning, economic development, parks and recreation, everything, senior center, and all the different structure of government, like we are general law city versus a charter city. So I think if you really want to know more about how our city works, I would sign up for this one. It's I think a 9-week course, and I think it'll be very helpful. And Robert will give you the details. I'm just giving Robert the assignment. And also, not everybody know, besides our housing team does more than just permits, CDBG, and they do a lot more important things as well. In the last couple of, I think less than 3 weeks ago, Sharon and Robert and the team, they were involved in helping an unhoused to get temporary housing. They reached out to our Santa Clara resources, County of Santa Clara resources, and they were able to coordinate that. And just this week, we helped a couple, and today is only Wednesday. It started on Monday. We helped a couple find temporary housing. They were able to find jobs. But they've been living in their car for since the pandemic. So we wanted them to freshen up and be ready to work. So the gentleman started working today. So not everybody know that, but that is part of the housing team. That's Robert and Sharon and everybody else. Also, I want to share with you that I also request a proclamation for September 18, and that's the National Gymnastics Day. I don't know if you know, we do have a gymnastic studio here in Milpitas on Main Street and 616 South Main Street. And they invited me last Saturday, and because they hosted an Olympian, Brody Malone, and there were a lot of kids. So I challenged them to win a medal in the next Olympic, so we can have an Olympian from Milpitas. Since I have a lot of time, I'm going through a lot of these for you. So also, I just had a meeting this afternoon with the city manager, the deputy city manager, and director of Parks and Recs. because next month is Philippine Heritage Month. So we set a date. It's October 22nd, Friday. So we will have some flag raising. We will have hopefully a band and a few dancing and singing. So it's gonna be fun. So save the day. It's from 4 o'clock to 5:30 ish. So that would be fun. Another one, what else? Oh, I also made a recommendation to the city council to have we have an ADU corner on the website. We will have one in October. So I want one that is an incentive corner. What do I mean by that? I want to have, it will house all the incentives, all the grants, all the freebies, everything that the residents might want to make avail of. And that would be, I think it's easier for the residents. Let's say we have, it's not only the city freebies, but also the region, Santa Clara, the state, and federal. So I'm excited about that one. And one of the initiatives that I started as well is I made a recommendation to open the senior center on Saturdays, half day on Saturdays, because some of our seniors, they work during weekdays, so they can't go and make avail of all the resources that we have over at the senior center. And some of our seniors as well, they take care of their grandchildren, so they don't have time to go on the weekdays. So hopefully we can, budget-wise, next year, we can open it up for our other seniors. I think that's it. That's all. That's a lot, right? Any questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Council member, this is Thelma.
Okay, 1 second.
What was the ADU? Oh, sorry.
Accessory dwelling unit?
Huh?
It's your granny homes.
Yeah. Sorry, Commissioner Vice Chair Vishal Gandhi has his hands. He raised his hand.
Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, thank you, Commissioner Leon. So yes, thank you, Council Member, for all the updates. I just had one feedback or recommendation on that the cleanup thing. As you mentioned, we have 4 times a year that we can request for the cleanup for heavy items. But if they can change that rule for the sofa, especially, that would be really helpful. Because what is happening that if you have a 2-piece sofa or if you have a sectional sofa, you can't put more than 1 piece at a time. So you have to like manage to keep those 2 pieces either for next 4 months or 8 months, or work out with your neighbor and have them call like the following week to pick up the other piece of the sofa and all that. So if they can make a change on the sofa, that would be helpful.
So good news, Vice Chair, because earlier this year, I also introduced an initiative to increase the number of ticket items. Instead of just 1, the staff is looking into making it 3.
Okay.
So
that would be really helpful.
Yes, but we need to see where it falls on our budget and where we can get the funding for that. But it looks doable. So the staff is studying that because I heard that from other residents as well, because they said, what are we going to do with 1 ticket item? There's a washer and a dryer. We go dump 1 dryer and wait, a few weeks or a month for the other one. So good suggestion.
Sure.
And I also want to shout out to Commissioner Jinky. Actually, Commissioner Peralta is the CEO of Sleeping Bag for the Homeless, and she was the one who referred the couple to us, to Robert and Sharon. Good job, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Councilor.
And
Madam
then
Councilor.
Commissioner Bartilo raised her hand and then
Oh, yes. My question was, Council Member Evelyn mentioned something about the ADU corner. What was that? What does it mean?
Okay, so what happens is one of my initiatives earlier, which was put into effect earlier this year, is the ADU Mondays. What does it mean?
What is
ADU Mondays,
ADU?
huh? It's the
What is
accessory
ADU? What does it?
accessory dwelling unit or granny homes. It can either be an attached to your backyard, to your house. It can be a detached. It's separate from your main house. It can be a junior ADU. It's going to be in your garage. We call it before granny homes, but it's called now ADU. So one of my recommendations from the ARPA funding is to allocate $1.5 million to help our residents build more ADUs and also the unpermitted ones to get permits for. So according to Sharon's study and her team, it will cost about $5,100 to provide like free application, inspection fees, all other fees. So we're looking at the ARPA money, the one that was passed by the council through my recommendation of 1.5 million to help our residents build more ADUs.
Great, thank you.
Now, Commissioner Eileen, Commissioner Song, you have your hands raised, and then Commissioner Rodriguez.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Council Member, for your very detailed report. I just had a question about what you mentioned earlier, and I wasn't sure if I just missed it, but in terms of the courses for people to learn more about the city, is it a class or is it like how does someone get into those? I was just thinking because of like the students, it would be good for students or younger people to also learn more about how city government works, to get more civically engaged. And I know a lot of young people around my neighborhood who would benefit from something like that.
There are two sets, one for the young ones and one for the adults.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
So, good question. That's good.
Thank you. Council Member, do you think you might be able to give Robert the information so he can pass it to all of us?
Robert will know.
Okay.
Right, Robert?
Yeah.
He'll pass it on. I'm pretty sure. If I've seen it, Robert has seen it already.
Thank you very much. Council Member Rodriguez.
Yes, I had a question about, so similar to what was asked right now about the courses about knowing more about the government. I'm interested in learning more, definitely, about, how the government, everything about government. And I was wondering, like, if it's like something that I need to go online for, or is it something like virtual or in person? That was sort of my question.
Right now, I think it's virtual, and you need to register, and Robert will give you that information.
Okay. Thank you so much, Council Member. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I also want to, Chair, if I may, a few months ago, I think early this year, Chair Leon gave me a tour of one of the parks in Milpitas, which was in very, very bad shape, very unsafe. So we were able to, after that, we were able to make it safe, to at least the children to be able to use it. So, Chair Leon, did you see the difference?
It's coming. Yes, I was going to ask you about that because I heard that last month, unfortunately, I was out, I couldn't attend. It was a discussion at the City Council meeting regarding the plan of when, because it was going to be in 2 stages, I think,
Right.
do you have any idea about that?
Yes. It should be all the parks should be fair, meaning it's safe to use, including the 13 parks that were unsafe or needed attention. We allocated about 3.4 million from the ARPA fund to make all our parks usable and safe.
Thank you very much. Just one additional thing, Council Member Evelyn.
Sure. Mhm.
You mentioned about the vouchers.
Yes.
How do citizens can access to those vouchers? Is any process, or where are those?
So there are 2 ways you can do that. If you look at the flyer that Robert shared, you can email that Milpitas Recycles at ci.milpitas.gov, or you can call 408-586-2600 and ask for a voucher. Please disseminate that information to your neighbors, to your core of influence, relatives, and friends. We want our residents to use all these services.
408-586-2600.
Correct.
That's the number for the vouchers.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you all. And
Thank
see you next month.
Robert, any city staff report?
Respectfully, I couldn't possibly follow that up. That was tremendous.
I had time, Robert, so.
No, nothing from the city. And just FYI, I'll send out the dumpster flyer now, just after the meeting, and then the rest of the items I'll put together and send out separately.
Thank you.
So, Commissioner Leon, this is Vishal. I just had a question for Council Member Chua before we adjourn. I just missed the amount. The amount you mentioned for the EDU permit and fees, was it 5,000?
According
Oh yeah. Okay. I see a response from Sharon. So okay.
Yes. Sharon knows the number. She's the one who come up with the numbers when I asked her. Her team,
Okay.
Sharon and her team, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Sure.
Thank you.
You're
Any
welcome.
other? We used to have before a time for announcements or any information from the council members. I know that it's no longer on the agenda, but if anyone has something to bring up, we still have few more minutes for our imaginary deadline of 8 o'clock. So if anybody has something to want to share or let us know.
Yes, Madam Chair, Mr.
Yes.
Chair, I would like to ask Councilor Evelyn about, he told us that senior center will open soon. My question is, even the gym inside will also be open or still will close? There's a gym inside that senior center.
They're partially open. There are some classes, because I was there a couple weeks ago. Some their Zumba classes is done inside now. They're done inside. The Chinese, the Mahjong one, they're inside. It's selective, so call first before you go, so to find out which activities are inside and which are outside.
Okay, yeah, because I used to go there for to work out. Okay.
Okay, I think the workout place, the machines, they're open. I think that never closed. I think at least twice a week it's open, because I was there as well. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Anything else? We have 3 minutes, 4 minutes at the most. If you have anything you want to mention, Vice Chair Michelle. Oh, do you have some? an item?
No. I don't have. I was just gonna make a motion to adjourn.
Good. Thank you, Vice Chair, for taking the lead last month. The only thing I want to just mention is I was able to host one of the event, National Night Out. Unfortunately, like only a small portion of neighbors came because of the COVID. But I think what it was very important, the fact that we didn't stop it, and we still continue, even though there were low turnout compared to other years. But nevertheless, I was very impressed with the support of the city, with the fire department, the police department, the vice city manager, and all the ones who were able to attend. So I think it's a huge commitment to be sure that these events are still going to continue, and we have to put ourselves in the shoes of some of our citizens and neighbors, and trying to maintain the positive attitude towards the pandemic that is hitting the whole world. Vice Chair, I think you were going to say something.
No, I was just gonna say thanks, Chair Leone. It was good to host the meeting, and I would also pass on the thanks to Robert for helping me out to run the meeting. So special thanks to Robert for that.
Thank you. Well, we have in item number 11. Do we have anyone who wants to make a motion?
So this is Commissioner Gandhi. I'll make a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Anyone want to second this motion?
This is Commissioner Zong. I second this motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Zong. Robert, do you want to make the roll call?
Thing, Chair Leon,
Yes.
Commissioner Ratilo,
Yes.
Commissioner Peralta,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
and that is it.
Well,
Commissioner Rosario, that's what I missed. Excuse me.
the meeting has
Yes.
There we go.
The meeting has been adjourned. Thank you for being all of you here tonight, and looking forward to see you next month, and looking at the agendas, especially with what it's included on the work plan. Thank you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Sorry.